Tom House shared with me about Tom Brady, and I wonder if you'll back it up or you saw it yourself. He said Tom Brady would throw a handful of balls and then lean over to, maybe it was you, but definitely Tom House, and say, "What'd you think?" And he purposely would throw a duck, something that was just substandard. And just substandard.
A
little test. Did you see the bad ball? Now, he wasn't throwing an awful ball, just barely detectable. And he was trying to suss out, according to Tom House, trying to suss out, are you going to coach me? Are you really paying attention? Do you know the difference between good and great? And so did you have that experience with Tom Brady? And if you did or did not, that type of intensity is what separates people clearly. And so I'd love to hear your take.
That definitely is the nature in which he works. And go back to a story. It was a timing issue. He was going a little bit slower than he knew he was supposed to be going faster, but he went a little bit slower because we're thinking in rhythm and timing and everything like that. And yes, part of the nature in which I coach now was built on the fact that in that moment, you better be paying attention to every rep. There's no, and since then it's been pride our whole organization on, we're a feedback business. These kids, these guys, every rep matters. We're not, and Tom used to say, hey, pick the rule like odd numbers. Watch 3 throws and give a teaching point. Watch 5. That way it's not 1-1. You develop a trend and then you teach off of that. But I remember the first day I got exposed to Brady, wanted to speed up his foot strike. And he was just a titch slow. The next day he showed up and we were doing some pre-work and it looked faster. And I was like, hey, that looks good. And he goes, yeah, I know that looks good. And I was like, well, I mean, we're not out on the field yet. I hope this continues because you're right on cue with everything. And he was like, Adam, there's a reason I'm the best in the world. And I was like, okay. But you know what? He earned the right to say that. It didn't come from like a cocky or anything like that. It was like, no, he can, because he went home that night and he's like, I was in front of a mirror for about 90 minutes working on foot strike and working on all the movements that we had worked on the day before.